Hi there. Yes, I know, even I can't get my eyes off this car. It is a beautiful looking car. And let me tell you, while we were testing this car all around the city, in Pune and in Mumbai, we grabbed a lot of eyeballs because this car is definitely a looker. And not only does it look good, it drives good as well. So we're going to tell you all about the Mini Cooper JCW, John Cooper Works, in this video. So let's talk about the car. Let's talk about what's new. Let's talk about what's different with this new JCW. Now, to start with, if you see, the design has not changed very much. It looks like your traditional Mini Cooper, the Mini Cooper S. But let me tell you what John Cooper Works basically is. John Cooper Works is like what Mercedes is for BMW, AMG is for Mercedes. In the same fashion, John Cooper Works is for Mini. In other words, this is a performance version of the regular Mini Cooper. And if you were asking if the performance is really better, well, I'll talk about that a little later. First, let's check out what is different with the car. Now, the most noticeable difference that you will see is in the front of the car. And as you can see here, this is a redesigned grille. You get a large grille here, but you do not get chrome garnishing here, but you get a completely glossy black garnish right here. Also, you will see a red strip running here, which in the chili red color is what BMW likes to call it. And you get a large John Cooper Works logo right here. Besides that, you get these two large air vents for air intake. Besides that, you also get these vents right here for an air intake. Apart from that, you get parking sensors right here and right here on the side. Also, one thing to notice is that the Mini logo now is completely blacked out and it's not finished in chrome. So this is specifically for the John Cooper Works version. Apart from that, you also get these racing stripes finished in black with red accents. Also, you might notice that there is this scoop here for air intake, but no, it's not. It's a fake air intake unit. This is only to enhance the aesthetics. Here you get a raised hump right here on the hood, which looks really nice. And you get these typical Mini Cooper headlamps, which have DRLs integrated in it, and you get LED projector headlamps. Now, if you look at the sides, you get these large 18-inch alloy wheels. These are John Cooper Works alloy wheels with John Cooper Works branding right here. And these are two-tone alloys which are finished in glossy black and satin silver. And you also get these low-profile tires. These are 205 by 40 section Goodyear tires. And on the side, again, you get this big John Cooper Works branding. This whole piece is just an attachment. It has no function whatsoever. It's there only to enhance the aesthetics of the car. Besides that, you also get this red finishing, chili red finishing on the ORVMs, and also the roof is finished in chili red. Now this color, this red roof and red ORVM is exclusive to John Cooper Works. You will not get this in the other Mini Cooper cars. Talking about the door handle, it's completely finished in glossy black, and you get a request sensor for the passenger and the driver as well. At the rear also, you get an 18-inch alloy with a 205 by 40 section tire, and you get this nice black cladding on both the sides, giving it a sporty but rugged look. Now, like the front, the rear too is really beautiful to look at. And if someone sees this car moving in front of them, they will recognize that it is a Mini Cooper. But what differentiates this one from the other Mini Coopers is this spoiler, which is an exclusive John Cooper Works spoiler. Besides that, you get the regular bits like this antenna, which gives it a sporty remote carish look. And you get a high stop lamp, a rear washer wiper, and a rear defogger as well. And you get a blacked out piece here with the Mini Cooper logo, which again is blacked out, and you get the John Cooper Works branding right here. Talking about the tail lamps, these are traditional Mini Cooper tail lamps with the Union Jack integrated in it. And You get a dual finished bumper with body colored, and you get this small plastic cladding right here, and then a piece which is finished in glossy black. And right at the center you will find the twin exhaust tips. So this is a 221 liter boot, and as you can see, you can only store a few bags here. Not a lot of stuff can be stored. You get this split seats right here, so you can just drop them and you can increase the boot space. And to enter the car, you can unlock the car with this button, or you can simply put the key in your pocket, hit the request sensor, and open the door. So you get keyless entry and go, which is a pretty good. Now, talking about the interior, let's start with the door itself. And as you can see, this is a really good looking door panel. You get this soft touch leather right here, and you have this premium chrome finished handle, and you have the unlock button. You have this piece right here that is finished in glossy black. This piece right here has a leather finish to it, which gives it a premium look. Here you have the controls for the power windows and the ORVM adjustment. A small door pocket right here to store your wallet and some other knickknacks. You get a speaker right here, and this part right here, this is hard plastic. It's not of bad quality though, so it's finished pretty well. And you also get these frameless windows which look rather nice. And to check the build quality, heard sound. It And as soon as you enter the cabin, you are greeted by this beautifully designed steering wheel. As you can see, you get a nice leather wrapped steering wheel with white contrast stitching right here. On the left hand side, you have the cruise control buttons, and you on the center you get this chrome finish with the Mini logo integrated in it. On the right hand side, you will get the controls to activate voice command. It does not take a lot of commands. You can give it commands like calls or to increase or decrease the cabin temperature. Besides that, it does not do much. It does not have AI features like the other cars do. And you get this call, answer and reject button. Besides that, you get media controls right here. You have paddle shifters to control the manual gearing if you wish to drive it in manual mode. And as you can see, you have a tachometer. Then you have this display right in the center. You have the gear shift indicator right here, odometer, trip meter. You have a clock, temperature and range, and the John Cooper Works logo right here. On the right hand side, you have all the telltale lights and the fuel gauge. Now, this car status that you see, it changes when you start the car, and it will turn into a speedometer like so. Now the center stage is taken up by this huge circular console, which looks really nice, and typical of Mini, you will get everything in circles, like the circular dials here for the AC controls, and you get these airplane inspired switches as well. And this button right here activates the parking sensors. So when you put that on and you put parking in a tight space, you can get idea of what is happening around you and if there is any obstacle near by the car. You also can switch on the rear parking camera, which can be seen right here, and the resolution on this is pretty good. It's a pretty wide angle camera, and it is pretty much visible in the dark as well. So this can turn off the auto on off feature, wherein if you are at a parking if you're at a signal and you stop the car, the engine shuts itself off, and when you lift your foot off the brake, the engine will start again. This is the start stop button. You have the traction control button right here, and this is for selecting the mode. Now I'll talk about the modes more once we drive the car. Besides that, you get a 12 volt socket right here, and then there is a USB slot right here and a USB type C port right here. You get a small cubby hole right here to store your phone or probably your wallet. And you get these two cup holders, pretty large. They can hold a 1 liter bottle very easily. And behind that you have this drive selector, which is really nice to hold. And you can also put the car in sports mode or manual mode, and you can shift the gears using the paddle shifters. Not much of space right here. I'll come to these buttons a little later when I talk about the infotainment screen. Besides that, there is a central armrest which is finished in leather, and inside this central armrest you have a phone holder. So this is an adjustable holder, so you can practically hold a phone of any size right here. Now let's talk about this 8.8-inch infotainment display, which looks really good, and it can do a lot of stuff as well. So you have multiple screens to choose from, and the screen is pretty nice to touch, and you can swipe off the menus very easily. Now if you don't want to touch the screen and you want to use manual, you want to have some tactical feedback, mechanical feedback, you can use this jog dial right here, and by turning this knob you can switch the screens. It's a pretty handy feature if you don't want to use the touch screen. And besides that, if you don't want to touch the screen at all, you can use these buttons right here, like the media button, map, navigation, menu. So everything, the entire infotainment system can be controlled by using this dial and these buttons alone. So you don't need to touch the screen at all, which is kind of nice. When you're sitting back and driving, you can just put your hand here and control the screen rather than reaching out to the screen right here. Now talking about the dashboard quality, wow, this is a really premium dashboard. It is made up of soft touch leather. You have a subwoofer right here which gives a really nice sound. You get two tweeters here and two speakers on the door pockets. There are two tweeters and two speakers at the rear as well. And you also get this nice carbon finish texture on the car. The glove box, like the car, is really small and it will hardly hold any stuff. It's not cooled, so you would not be able to get cooled beverages, which is a little sad. Besides that, you have AC controls right here, and you also get a auto dimming IRVM, which is a really nice feature. Besides the IRVM, the ORVMs are also auto dimming, so there is no glare of light that's going to hurt your eyes when you're driving in the dark. Apart from that, you also get these airplane inspired controls to control the in cabin lights. So this one controls the left light, this one controls obviously the right light, this one controls the whole light piece, and this one controls the ambient lighting inside the cabin, and this one obviously controls the sunroof. The sunroof is a two-piece sunroof. The sunshade is a manual operated sunshade, so you'll have to push it back, but you can open the sunroof using the button right here, and with two taps it opens completely. The sunroof at the rear, however, it does not open. It only has the sunshade, which can be opened manually. So overall, it will give you a nice and airy feel inside the cabin. The sunshades have illumination and a vanity mirror on both co-driver and driver side, which is really good. Now let's take a look at the rear seat. Well, there's nothing much to talk about the rear seat right here. If you see, it's got a nice finish. Three materials used in it: fabric, Alcantara leather, and soft touch leather as well. Right here you get a tweeter and a speaker. You get a nice big cup holder and an armrest. The armrest is made up of plastic. The seats are very comfortable to sit on. However, there is very little space to put your feet at, and that goes for both the seats behind. Technically, this is a four-seater car, so it is supposed to seat four people, but behind only shorter passengers will be comfortable. You also get ISOFIX child seat anchors on both seats, which is pretty good. Let me show you how you can get into this tiny little seat. Now, to get into the seat, you can either enter from the co-passengers, from the co-driver side or the driver side. To do that, there is a knob right here which you need to pull, and this seat will come completely down and you can enter from here. The space in here is pretty tight and is not recommended for taller people. So talking about driving, this is an enthusiastic car, and whoever is an enthusiastic driver would love to drive this car. And as you can see, I am cruising on the highway. The suspension setup is very stiff on this car. Now we're driving at a lower speed because we're shooting, so that's the reason there is a lot of vertical movement. But when we pick up speed and we start going faster, the suspension feels much more better and the ride will become even better. Now talking about the power figures, this car is equipped with a 1998 cc engine which produces 228 bhp of power and 320 newton meters of torque. Now the best part is that this 320 newton meters torque comes in at just 1450 rpm all the way up to 4800 rpm, and that's a very strong mid-range that this car has, and you just need to push the pedal forward and the car will get a move on. You can make overtakes very easily even when you are cruising at a very low speed. You put your foot down and the car will pick up speed. Now the car is equipped with the 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission, and the shifts are really smooth. You will hardly notice when the car is shifting up or shifting down, and the car also picks up pace very fast as you put your foot down, and the shifts are pretty smooth as well as very quick. You will find yourself in the 8th gear very fast if you are driving down a highway. If you want manual control, you can slot the gear selector in manual mode and use these paddle shifters to get full manual control of the car, and you can enjoy your drive. Now another thing that I want to point out are these seats. The seats are very comfortable. Both the seats at the front are bucket seats, and if you can see, there is a lot of bolstering here, and I have very good support while I'm driving. What that means is when I'm cornering the car, when you are pushing the car into corners, you are not going to move around in the seat. You are going to stay right in the seat. So like you actually are into the seat and not on the seat, which is a very good thing when you are into corners. So the car is very good for highway drives, and if you are someone who likes to go to the tracks, you can take the car to the track as well. I'm sure that you will have a lot of fun on the tracks. In the city, however, the ride is very stiff. The slightest of uneven roads are going to be felt in the cabin, and the ride will become uncomfortable if the roads are really bad. So you really have to slow down on bad roads. Besides that, the car is running on low profile tires, because of which you cannot go on bad roads at a higher speed. There is a good chance that you will crack the rim by going at a faster pace. So if you want to speed, if you want to drive fast, you best take the car on the highway. In the city, it's not a city car for sure, and you really have to be very careful even on speed bumps. Now we were able to cover most of the speed bumps very easily without the belly scraping. The ground clearance is 165 mm, which is not the best in terms of city driving conditions, but when you are on the highway, that's when the car changes its character and comes to life, and it gives you a go-kart like feeling because you are running so close to the ground. That also makes the handling of the car really good, and making quick overtakes and turning the car into corners is very good. The steering wheel weighs up really well, and you get a very good feedback of the road from the steering wheel. And there are 3 driving modes. The default mode is called mid. It's the mode that the car starts in, and you get a normal amount of power when you press the throttle. There is another mode which is the green mode. Basically is an economy mode, and you will get higher fuel consumption. The power delivery is not that eager, and in our testing we saw that we were getting about 15 to 20% of extra mileage while in the green mode. And after that comes the sport mode, which this car is basically made for, and in that mode the car is very eager. As soon as you even set the slightest pressure on the accelerator, the car will just dart forward. However, since there is a lot of power delivery happening in the sport mode, the mileage does take a hit and you will get a lesser fuel consumption. Talking about fuel consumption, the car in our testing was able to return about 10 to 11 kmpl in the city, and you will not believe it, but on the highway when we did a Mumbai to Pune run, it was able to deliver close to 19 kmpl. And that is really good for the size for this engine size. However, that was in the green mode, so that is the reason why we got a good mileage. But in real world conditions, you should get a mileage of about 13 to 14 kmpl in mixed driving conditions. In the city, it's going to be around 10 and 11. So if you are going to drive the car a lot in the city, you might want to look at some other cars which are more fuel efficient. The car is equipped with a 44-liter fuel tank, and which basically means that you should get a range upwards of 500 kilometers, which is pretty decent. And even on longer journeys, you will not have to make a lot of fuel stops. So overall, in my experience, this is a very, very fun car to drive. I really enjoy driving the cars, especially in the corners. You can really push the car into the corners and really have some fun with it. And if you are someone who's going to take it to the tracks, you definitely are going to have a lot of fun. So it's basically a fun to drive car. It's not the most comfortable, but the smile that you will see on your face when you are speeding past other cars, no other car can match that satisfaction of making a quick overtake and doing it in style in a stylish car. So that was the Mini Cooper John Cooper Works for you. Let us know in the comments, what do you think about this car? Now, if you want to buy this car, this will set you back by 46 lakh rupees ex showroom, and it should cost you around 47 to 48 lakhs on the road, depending on which state and city you live in. But if you ask me, there is nothing like this car in the market right now at this very price point. The Mini Cooper JCW comes as a very different package for enthusiast drivers. Not only that, it is a beauty. It is absolutely a great looking car. There is no other product that comes close in terms of the looks, the dynamics, and the package. The entire package that this car offers. Yes, the suspension is a bit stiff. The cabin space is a little tight. The boot is really small. But if you are an enthusiast driver, you would not care about all of these things. You would just press the pedal to the metal and drive off. And that's what this car is all about. We hope you've liked this video. Hit the like button if you have, and subscribe to Motorheads if you haven't already. Press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload our videos. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. This is Vipul signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.